Go. Hi, I'm Kirk O'Brien. I'm the cartooning and animation teacher at the Visual Arts Center in Richmond, Virginia. Today I'm going to discuss how to draw this little muscle-bound guy. He's fairly simple. You'll notice his arms and legs are inverted. That is, they're thicker at the wrist than they are where they join into the torso, and this makes him look muscular. So let's get started. What I'm going to do for a start is I'm going to sketch out the beginning of his head with just a light little circle. Those of you who've watched a couple of these videos will know I often sketch these things out a couple times so I can move them around and change them as I work. Dropping a line down the middle. I'm not real worried about things being exact, and a line about 3/4 of the way down the circle. At that line I'm going to add ears, and then I'm going to add a jaw. Keep in mind you're cartooning, things don't have to be realistic, and you'll notice I'm taking the jaw and I'm just stretching it way out. And I'm being a little rough. When I do the body, I want the shoulders nice and wide, and I'm actually not going to bother with the neck. The body shape is sort of an apple. Now that's just the rib cage. I'm going to go in, I'm going to add a small circle for the stomach area, and then sort of a box. Some people say it looks like a pair of underwear for the hips. So I've got 3 parts there. I'm going to come to the edges of the hips, sketch 2 lines down. Then at the bottom of those, I'm going to sketch in a little U shape. It's an upside down U. This is going to make the legs much thicker at the ankle than at the top, up by the hips. I'll do the same basic thing with the arm. I'm making the arms kind of long. Here I'm making the arm cross into the body, and we're going to get some overlap there. But again, it's just a line and a U. Ordinarily, your wrist would be at about the level of the bottom of your hips, and you'll notice these are slightly lower. At this point, I've got to come in and sketch in some hands. This is a line, the letter C, the letter L, and again the letter L, and I've got a little fist created there. Here, on the other hand, I'm going to sketch in a V, just sort of shove it right into the U. On one end, I'm going to add a L. On the other end, I'm going to add a U hanging off. And you can see the thumb and the forefinger. The other 2 fingers, I'm just going to draw as the letter L or J, whichever you like. For feet, I'll curve a C, then something that looks like a squished S, a C, a J, a J, a J, and a curved line. I'm going to do another video later describing how I did this foot, because it's really a cheat, and I'd like to do one that's a series of cheats on feet because they're a little tough to draw. At this point, it looks like I've got the whole figure in. I'm going to sketch in some shadow. Might thicken up the legs. Add a little cartoony C bump for the knee. Same thing on the other side, and do basically the same thing for the upper part of the arm, and the elbow will get that cartoony C bump as well. Sort of finishing things off, tightening up the lines a bit. I'm getting a little more sure of where my lines go, so you'll notice I'm darkening them slightly. Now obviously most of the darkening will occur when I ink the drawing in, which I will eventually do. I'm going to go in and do his face. I'm going to have a bit of fun with this. A couple dots for the eyes. This nose starts out as sort of a mark like the letter number 5 with 2 C's on the end. It makes a big, nice, wide nose. Going to make his mouth very low and going all the way across his head. And then I'll take this little bit coming down from the nose there. Just a little U shape. I'm going to drop in the letter C, and that's going to loop around, creating a shirt collar. Doesn't need much hair. Spends a lot of time at the barber shop or something, shaving his head, so just 3 lines. So letter C around the arm to create a sleeve. Make it a bit wider than the arm. Do the same thing on the other arm. It looks like he's got a little short-sleeved shirt on when I do this. Come in and just sort of flesh things out a bit. Not really fleshing things out, I'm actually adding clothes. Add a belt. Probably want it to curve just a little. You want the lines curving a little. Makes it look like they go around the body. Notice how I'm curving his shorts. I guess he wears shorts because his legs are too big to fit in regular pants. Apparently his feet are also too big to wear shoes because I'm going to leave him barefoot. Add a few little details here and there. When I get comfortable with the drawing, I switch over to inking and I just ink the drawing in. While you're watching this step, which is a time-lapse photography, just keep in mind what I'm keeping and what I'm not drawing. You'll notice that part of the shirt that went behind the arm does not get drawn. So there's lots of little things. A lot of the beginning of the drawing is not being inked in. Go over the drawing with the eraser. Take out any spare pencil lines. Now I've got a finished drawing of this little sort of muscular, goofy guy. Keep in mind when you're cartooning, it's a lot of fun to exaggerate, and this is an example of very pure exaggeration. My name's Kirk O'Brien. I'm the cartooning and animation teacher at the Visual Arts Center in Richmond, Virginia. Come by and take a class sometime. Thank you very much.